All right, so this will be review for a lot of the veteran players, but at the same time, it never hurts to review it for yourself, as well as the younger guys who may not understand the Go concept the way that we want you to this year. Probably ran it a little bit differently last year. So we talked about on the field a little bit, and we introduced the concept of the hard deck, which is represented in this diagram by the dotted line at 7 yards. Okay, so again, the hard deck indicates your pre-snap read. If a defender who is over you, regardless if the coverage is man or zone, is under the hard deck, in other words, shorter than 7 yards, then you are uncapped. You are uncapped pre-snap. So right now, if I'm the X receiver, this guy is lined up under 7 yards. I'm thinking right now, if the play is go, I'm running right by him. I am uncapped. Again, that may change post-snap. Or it may also change while the quarterback is giving his cadence. But for right now, my pre-snap read is telling me if this play is go, I'm running right by this guy. Contrary, on the other side, if I'm the Y receiver, this defender is above the hard deck, meaning he is capping me. So I am capped pre-snap based on his alignment. Again, that may change once the ball is snapped or while the quarterback is going through his cadence. But right now, if the play is go and I'm this guy, based on my pre-snap read, I'm thinking that I'm probably going to be hooking at 10 and not trying to outrun this guy. I mean, yes, I am trying to outrun this guy. So don't get me wrong. Your thought process and your body process are two different things. So my thought process is I'm most likely going to hook at 10 because this guy is currently capping me. However, I'm still going to drive off as if I'm racing. It's a race to 10 yards. So let's put it that way. Regardless of where he is, it's a race to 10 yards. If I can get even with him by 10 yards, I keep going. If we're even, I'm leaving. That's how the saying goes. If he continues to backpedal or evacuates and he beats me to the 10-yard mark, then I'm going to hook at 10. All right, so but capped and uncapped with your pre-snap read. So that being said, all I did was added a safety, so now it's a single high safety. And then we'll just briefly touch on landmarks. So once you have the hard deck concept, landmarks. Again, perfect world, middle of the field. Landmarks for the outside receivers are the numbers, specifically the outside of the numbers. Okay, that gives you enough space to, we want the ball thrown, and we actually want it to be somewhere in this neighborhood, outside, okay? Within about a 17 to 22 yard distance. It's not a bomb, we're not playing Madden, it's not a Hail Mary. Nor is it to the inside receiver either. What we want to do is we want a high percentage play here. So we're going to throw the ball somewhere in the 17 to 22 yard area to the outside, somewhere between the numbers and the sideline. So understand receivers, leave yourself space. Your landmark is to run down the outside of the numbers. The ball will be somewhere between that spot and the sideline, and we're going to let you go get it. All right, that's if you're continuing to run the go. So those are your landmarks for outside receivers, outside of the numbers. For slot guys, it is the hash. Specifically the outside of the hash, but running down the hash will be good enough, okay? Regardless of your alignment. So again, perfect world, middle of the field. Ooh, there we are. That's what it looks like. So now we're going to start moving the ball around and show you what landmarks look like there. Landmarks don't change. You have to change. So for all intents and purposes, let's get rid of the defense for a second. So again, the landmarks don't change. If you're the outside receiver to the right side, you're responsible for running the numbers. Left side, responsible for running the numbers. If you're the inside receiver, you're responsible for running the hash. This inside receiver, responsible for running the hash. All right. Now, let's say we are over here, so to speak, okay? Obviously, your alignment, first of all, is going to change. So we talked about that previously. You align to best execute your responsibility, which means you're going to be wider. You're going to be wider. Hey, look at that, just helped you out. It got you closer to your landmark, right? You're going to be a little bit tighter maybe. Now, understand this. Yes, you have to get there. So we're going to erase this and draw our new landmarks. We're still going to erase these just because I'm going to be a little touch wider with each of these guys. So there's your original alignment. Now what are you going to do? What's your rule? Your rule is split the difference, right? So understand this. Yeah, split the difference. We're not quite on the hash. So sure, split the difference, but also the over encompassing rule is align to best, execute your responsibility. So if your responsibility is to run the numbers, maybe you want to tighten up just a hair. Okay, and that's obviously going to change your release also. So from this point, if you understand landmarks, okay, this guy should be running to this landmark here down the numbers, outside of the numbers. You should be running hash. You should be running, yeah, guess what? You got to release inside probably and get there. And you got to probably release inside and run there. Same spacing, same landmarks with the formation sort of to the boundary. So again, hopefully that gives you a good visual picture of where you are supposed to be. Let's say we're all the way on the hash. Let's move it over to the other side. And whoops, we're going to lose some guys off the screen here. Don't worry, we'll realign you. Okay, so here we are on this hash, which means alignment-wise, you're going to help yourself out. Get there. Okay, and remember again, there's a lot of things that go into this. Landmarks, execute your responsibility, align to execute your responsibility properly. And then remember, there's my little guy in the background. Remember, you're thinking about the arm strength of the quarterback. So, I don't know about you, there are not a whole lot of guys in the state who can make this throw here, okay, all the way over there. So, just think about that. Even our guy from last year, that's asking a guy to do an awful lot, to chuck this ball from this hash all the way over to the opposite numbers, 20 yards down the field, 25 yards down the field. That's a long throw. So think about how you can make life easier for your quarterback. Coach, you're confusing me. I have all this stuff to think about. Okay, well, that's why you play offense, because you're smart. So all this stuff is well within the framework of what you can do. Okay, we trust you. You can do it. So that being said, what do I do? All right, well, it probably is going to make a little bit more sense to stay on the inside of the numbers here. It's probably going to make sense to stay inside the hash here. Okay, and obviously these guys have the toughest job. Traditionally, we would probably say, so you can see up here it says right spread, go right. This really means nothing to you. Okay, it used to mean that we were only going to throw to that side. It no longer means that. This is the right is for the protection. So even though it says right spread, go right, the guys on the left can get the ball. All right. If we want to specifically call a side, we can call it, but it does not necessarily mean that. We gave the quarterbacks the freedom to pick whichever side they want to throw to. So this direction is for the protection. It doesn't have anything to do with the receivers. So all four guys should be expecting the ball anytime this is called. Yes, you have to bust to get here. Now your path is probably going to change. You're not going to run under here into the linebackers and then run straight up. Path of least resistance. So find a way to get to your landmark. Same thing here. Maybe you can release underneath, depending on the coverage. Maybe you just need to attack leverage, and then you get to your landmark and you straighten it out. Okay, so again, have some intelligence. Stay on your landmark regardless of where the ball is in the field, boundary or to the sideline. So hopefully that will take care of the landmarks. Again, questions, talk to me. Don't make mistakes during practices or during games. Ask questions.